So we've got Cien who's speaking for us from LaunchLemonade, and they specialize in launching and running AI teams. So for all those who feel like they're drowning as founders out there, this is probably one for you. So please help me welcome to the stage, Cien.
Hello. AI is scary. No one's scared of AI. Yeah, so my name is Cien, and I'm going to be talking about how we scale ourselves with AI. A little bit about myself. 3 years ago, I worked in fintech. All the fintechs in London then were heavily funded. They had a lot of money. And I was one lucky product manager who got my first ever 6-digit salary. 6 digits, just over 100,000. But that was a lot of money for me, and I was like, oh my God. And then midlife crisis hit. I was like, I'm gonna quit this amazing job, and I'm gonna break up with my husband. And on the same year, my divorce, let go of my 6-figure job, ChatGPT came out. I was like, oh my God, my life's gonna change. 3 years later, I'm now a founder of 2 businesses. I am a paid speaker, and I do free stuff as well. And I'm also an AI transformation consultant. So I work for organizations. One of my clients right now manages the national fraud database. So I'm still kind of in fintech, building solutions to defeat fraud. Sexy. I also run a podcast. I publish 2 newsletters a week. And I also coach people to become good at AI. I become all of the things that I wanted to be, apart from a poet, frustrated poet, and stand-up comic. Never happened, but I try in events like these when I talk about AI. AI helped me become more of me, and it unlocked a lot of my potential. And just recently, I quadrupled my monthly salary as a bootstrap founder. Hooray! But who would have thought? The product manager, 3 years later, because of AI, became more of herself. So, in the past couple of years, I think we estimated I must have done 100 talks in the last 12 months, talking about how do we go beyond LLMs? How do we go beyond prompting? And how do we systemize our prompts and build an environment around our prompts, including memory and knowledge bases and actions, so we can unlock more of AI and build teammates that multiply ourselves. And I also talk about AI agents, like, oh my God, AI agents, this thing that could do everything for me. It can't, but if you do it right, it can do some things for you. And my mission is simple. No one gets left behind in the time of AI. Bold. But the biggest unlock for me, apart from I'm now a tech AI founder or running my own podcast, is that actually I've started connecting more with people. I've started showing up in places like these where I can actually connect with people more. Yes, it's Princess Beatrice. She invited me for lunch. But I've been able to show up more because of AI. A lot of what I've been doing is now delegated to AI, and now I'm doing more of the people stuff. That's the real unlock. Connection is a new luxury. Okay, enough about me. This more of I'll give you a minute to reflect on this. Got a question for the room. If you can hire someone to unlock business growth today, what would their main skill be? If you could hire anyone in the world right now to unlock business growth, what skill would they have? So, like I said, I like talking about LLMs. And I have here categories of different skills. We got hard prompts, coding, maths, creative writing, instruction following, and longer queries. So if you could guess, just shout, which language model do you think is best at hard prompts? Hard prompts is in complex prompts. You've got multiple steps. You get them to reason. Which language model? If you could guess. Yes. ChatGPT. Coding. Claude. Maths. Grok. That's a good one. Creative writing. Claude. Instruction following. Like first do this and second do that. ChatGPT. And longer query, like a really long brief. Perplexity. So there is a website called lmarena.ai. If you haven't checked it out, it's a fun website to check out. It's also free, but it's where you could keep track of which is the best language model in the market currently. They update daily. So when ChatGPT, GPT-5 came out, it was on top of this list for one day only. And then it was superseded by Gemini 2.5 Pro, was the best model in the market for months. It was months and months, and Gemini dominated this board. But Claude has always been consistent as well. It's always been Gemini and Claude at the top. But you have here on the website, if you go to the dashboard, you will see what are the best language models for what skill. So as we hire AI teammates, we also look at the skills that we need when hiring these AI teammates. We need to look at the language model that we use for the specific roles and tasks that we delegate to our AI. So that's one resource for you. Check it out. You can even battle different language models and get them to fight, which is a better language model. Now, you're gonna say, but Cien, it's so complex. There's almost 300 language models on there. What do I use for what? I give this cheat sheet to my students. And I always default to Claude for anything creative writing, my blogs, my newsletters. 3.7 is actually for me better than the 4.5. Personal choice, but it's able to produce longer text. For my socials, I really like Gemini. It can really, for me, understand the tone of voice. Like if you give it instructions about your tone of voice, it's the best model, I find. For code, it's actually Claude Sonnet 4.5, the new model. It's insane. Like I've literally coded a few projects the minute it went out. But the 4.1 is just as good as well, the Opus 4.1, which is also recent. For deep research, 2.5 Pro was so good for deep research. But actually Perplexity and the new Perplexity just came out is also good. My favorite for image generation has always been Flux V1.1, but a lot love Nano Banana. But that's my cheat sheet. Take a photo, give you 3 more seconds. Image generate, you want me to move it? No worries. All right. The water as well. Okay. Thank you. Now this cheat sheet, actually I update this every month, but you've got some stables here, which is Gemini and Claude are consistently good for those specific tasks. All right. But how do we make these repeatable without us prompting these language models all the time? How do we build repeatable workflows and build systems out of these language models? How do we actually make them into teammates? The job spec. You've heard of prompts. I'm actually, if you look up prompt queen in London, I will bet £1 I'll be on the top of the search results. So I talk about prompts quite a lot over the past few years. But my favorite way of prompting, and the same way I used to systemize these prompts, so I use them as system prompts, the backbone of any AI agent or teammate that I build, is a job spec. So when you're hiring a human teammate and you're thinking about, I need to hire a human colleague, what's the first thing that you do? What's the first thing that you do when you yes, you write a job spec. And in that job spec, what do you write? You write their role, their responsibilities, context about the role, what their tasks are going to be. It's the same thing as building an AI teammate. You give them a job spec. So these three ways there are many ways of prompting. These are the main three ways of prompting AI. One shot, conversational. So one shot, you just ask, I want you to write an email. Or conversational, can you help me with this? And then you have a conversation. The third way of prompting is what I call a brief or a job spec. And this is what we're going to use to build repeatable workflows, build systems on top of our language models. Okay. So this is my popular 15 minutes formula of writing a prompt. Can anyone guess what R is? C. O. T. Nice. And E. Nice. Correct. Role, context, objective, tasks, expectations, and format. So if you can use this as prompts, but when you start thinking about systemizing these prompts and building AI teammates, use our code and use that as your system prompt for your AI agents. This is how we build repeatable workflows, by having and using this prompt. Now, there are many versions of this, but this is what I built. Part 2, knowledge and RAG. Now, how a language model works is whatever your input is, it becomes some sort of number, weird math, and then it gets sent to this big brain that's trained on Reddit data, Wikipedia, books, internet, so much data, and then it makes sense out of what it's given and provides an output. But RAG has changed that game. Shen, what's RAG? This is so technical. It's literally just means knowledge base. So you're giving it custom information. You're giving your chatbot or your AI custom information so that it can customize its output. It will no longer just rely on the training data set of the language model, but can customize the responses your AI is going to give. So you have custom, so when you're hiring someone, you have the job spec, you interview, and then once you chose one person, say, I like you, what's the first thing that you do when they're hired? You give them knowledge, you train, you give them knowledge. It's the same as AI. Okay, now I'm not going to get you to reflect because I don't think I have enough time. But the part 3 of building an AI teammate that multiplies you is aligning whatever you're going to build with your North Star goal. So you're going to think, oh, Shen, how do I build? Like, what do I build? There's so many opportunities and options. If you're very clear about what you want to achieve, then you're going to be very clear about what you're going to build. My North Star has always been making money. I want revenue. So, I mean, that's, who has a different North Star here? So with the clarity that I want to make money, I said, I want to build any agents that aren't aligned to that. I'm not going to try anything, any AI tool, if it's not going to make me money. So when you start mapping out what AI agent to build and what AI teammate to build for your team, align with your North Star. So this is how I did it. I knew that I was going to have to do legal, growth, operations, strategy, and sales. And for every section that I found, I was like, okay, I'm going to build AI that will help me with my legal stuff. I will growth stuff, operation stuff, strategy, sales. 3 hours ago, I designed an assistant that helped me design my cap table. And it was amazing. So align it with your North Star and you build things that will be useful for you. So when you're hiring a teammate, find the right LLM with the right skill, build it with knowledge base that is relevant to whatever task or teammate that you're gonna build, and delegate, and then start delegating those tasks. One example of how I was able to grow. I haven't been funded. And I bootstrapped my company to 5,000 global users. How did I do that? I posted so much on social media, 167 times. This LinkedIn guru said, Shen, you're posting 3 times on LinkedIn. That's too much. Well, I was like, well, that's how I drive people on my website. I've rest very clear. I'm gonna make money and I'm gonna use LinkedIn and my TikTok, and it worked. These are some of the results. Reached 150 countries. We're now at 19,000. This slide is old. 19,000 AI agents built on our platform, and we're still in control with little automation. We just built our team smart, and that's how we've been able to unlock what we have now using AI agents. All right, I have 10 minutes actually, but before I dive in, I'm gonna now show you an example of my team and how they work for me. I'm a little ill. I just came back from Dublin. And who gets ill here after traveling? Yeah. What the hell is that about? Okay. So this is an example of my content team that I've built. I've got different teams from sales to strategy to HR, and this is my content team. I've got a campaign strategist that helps me design my campaigns, my blog AIO writer, and then my social media writer built on Claude Sonnet 4.5 using memory. And so I'm asking it to now give me 50 LinkedIn posts for the next week. And now we're seeing my social media producer working hard. It's produced this table with the content idea, the image that goes with it, and the post itself. And as you can see, I'm going to show later, it was built on Claude Sonnet 4.5. But I know that sometimes I like Gemini. So what I'm able to do after it produces all the 50 LinkedIn posts, and what I do is on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon, I got 30 minutes where I've got those posts and I just schedule them. And that's how I was able to get to 5,000 users. Now this is taking a while. Okay, now I know that Gemini can sometimes be good, or GPT-5 can sometimes be good. So I can change the language model mid-chat that uses the same chat history and knowledge base. So I can now make use of the different expertise of the language models working together in the same thread, having access to the same memory, having access to the same knowledge base, and system prompt or job spec. Okay, now what do I do next? I'm gonna get this image idea, and I'm gonna pass it on to my image specialist that will then produce the image for me to use on my social media. So I'm now, with my team, that's just AI, produce the entire content for me. And you're gonna say, Shen, it's AI slop. I don't care. I care about my customer who pays me $25 a month to get access to all the models. And these are some of the models that we have on the platform. So it's important for us to give access to these models because we know that different language models are good for different things. We can easily upload your knowledge base, use a web scraper tool, use our Notion integration, and build teammates that actually work for you. We also know that by stringing different language models in one task, what if Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, Llama can work together as one team in one task? We also make that easy, like in prospecting. Finding a prospect, exactly where they are and who they are, finding it and writing messages for you, built on different language models, working together in one go. I've got DeepSeek, Sonnet, Gemini, and GPT working together to find me the customers, conduct the SWOT analysis, and write the message for me for my cold outreach in seconds. And that's the beauty of building teams and choosing the right language models for the right task. You scale yourself, you multiply yourself in the way that you ought to. Sorry? Oh, me. I am customer service. I am the customer service. I am the product person. I am the COO, the CEO, the marketing person. I'm also the TikTok influencer, I hope. If you're on TikTok, follow me. But yes, we've got AI teams that has allowed me to multiply myself. And that's it. If you want to multiply yourself without the overhead cost, all you have to do is be very clear about the tasks that you want to automate, that you want to scale, and you want to augment. And build them meaningfully by choosing the right language model, building it around in an ecosystem where you feed it with the right knowledge base, you feed it with the right tools, and then you train it. Thank you.